super happy tonight. Why? Because as you can see for yourselves, I have Train Sim World 2, 3. I mean, did I just say Train Sim World 2? Train Sim World 3, Early Access. Yes, what's up, guys? It's 3 Chime, and I'm back once again with some more Train Sim World. We are taking a look at the new Train Sim World 3, Early Access. And boy, oh boy, it feels so good to try out this new game. Totally new menu screen. Um, Holy cow. I mean, like, this is incredible. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. It is just incredible. Rest in peace to Train Sim World 2. I posted the last just a little bit ago on Instagram with Train Sim World 2. Rest in peace from 2020 to 2022, guys. Rest in peace for Train Sim World 2. Um, I'm gonna miss the game. Even though I did import my old profile over to Train Sim World 3, so I can always switch back to my Train Sim World 2 profile and play it on here. But I started a new one, of course, 3 Chime, and what better way to start off with a new profile on a new game? And you can see for yourselves, it's incredible. I am just mind blown. Just mind blown. But I hope you guys enjoy this early access. And we are going to be playing Cajon Pass, man, because I've been waiting for that. And guess what? I called it. Guys, I called it. I called it too. I said it was going to be, they were going to do either, when they were first giving out the hints, I said it was going to be either Cajon, Tehachapi, Stevens Pass, or the fourth one. There was like 4 guesses with BNSF, and my guess mainly was Cajon, an updated version. And guess what? We have it. But before we jump into Cajon, we're gonna go through tutorials with the ES44C4 and the SD40-2 in the training center just to see what it's like, because this is supposed to be a free-to-play route plus explore route, and oh, man, it's just incredible. I love it. Give me 1 second, guys, before we go right into the action. Alrighty guys, let's get into it. We're gonna start off with the training center, and we are going to oh, there's video tutorials. Oh, okay, it just takes me straight to the YouTube, I guess. Gotcha. That's awesome. Alright, so what we're gonna do is let's see, which one was which? Fundamentals, changing path, moving a train, screen elements, navigation and interaction. Okay. Go to training. So what we're gonna do is, yep, here it is, BNSF ES44C4. Or do we want to do the SD40-2 first? Let's do EMD first. We're gonna go by EMD because they arrived first before Big Power. So we'll do the BNSF SD40-2. And yeah, it's supposed to take me 30 minutes, it says. 1900 extra once you get a gold medal. And let's do it. SD40-2 training module. Let's do it. In the training center. I hope you guys enjoy this early access live stream, and please be sure to like,
Welcome
subscribe.
to driver training at the training center.
Ooh.
Today you'll be learning how to drive this EMD SD40-2 locomotive in BNSF railway livery. The SD40-2 started production in 1972, with the last unit being built in 1986. Rated at 3,000 horsepower and weighing at least 170 tons, the SD40-2 is rated with a continuous tractive effort of 831,000 pounds. Over 4,000 SD40-2 locomotives were produced by EMD in various configurations, and many are still in use today, 50 years after they were first introduced. When you're ready to begin, climb aboard.
The first thing I will do though is, oh, look at the new pause screen. How about that? Alright. Okay, so since I'm a veteran, I chose the experienced, so I didn't choose beginner. What we're gonna do, I need to turn up the sensitivity on the controller. We'll up it by 2 and see how that feels. Let me see, hold on. R2 is not, doesn't sprint. Hold on, locomotive, operation shift on foot. So, to run is R2. Oh, okay, so I guess you can't run in the... It's the same controls as before. Yes, the same controls as before. Camera, camera shift. Cycle internal cameras. Cycle external. Yep. I'll actually up it one more. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Hold on. I'll up it one more. Then I should be good. There we go. 81 to 80.
Sit in the engineer's seat.
Wow, look at the cab. Awesome.
Now you'll go through the steps needed to take over this locomotive.
Look at the radio.
Firstly, you will need to set the generator field switch. This needs to be enabled for the throttle to control the power of the train.
Yep, already
This
know this.
locomotive requires the reverser handle to be inserted before operation.
Gotcha.
The reverser determines the direction of travel.
So we will go forward.
Switch the front headlights on. Regardless of the time of day or weather, all locomotives must have their headlights on.
Bright aux. Oh, right. There we go.
When getting moving, it's worth remembering the following sequence. Independent on, auto off. Throttle on, independent off. Let's go through that slowly and understand why. First, fully apply the independent brake. Now, this will ensure that regardless of anything else, your train won't move.
I like this guy's voice. It's incredible.
Next, fully release the automatic brake. This will release the brakes on the rest of the train, but you won't go anywhere because those independent brakes are holding you.
Oh, yeah, he's basically talking about what I already
Now, apply a small amount of throttle and verify that power is generated.
Notch 2.
Finally, release the independent brake and you'll start moving.
All right.
This is a great practice to get used to because it'll help you with two key areas. The first is that you verify that the train will take power before you release the brakes. You don't want to find yourself without power and having to hurriedly put the brakes back on. The second is that having power applied as you release the independent brakes ensures that you won't roll backwards. On steeper hill starts, you may even need to start with more power. And this is something you can practice and get used to as you find yourself out on the railroad.
Right, right.
If you have any locomotives on the rear of the train behind freight cars, you can press the banking comms button to enable radio communications with those remote units. This will ensure that they operate their throttle and brakes in unison with your own locomotive, giving you much-needed extra control on your journey. Press it now, just to get practice, even though there aren't any connected.
Banking calm.
Coasting is a method used to efficiently maintain speed and reduce motor stress and maintenance requirements.
We can mess with the EOT. That's sick.
Come to a stop in the indicated position
EOTD.
using the independent brake. Independent brakes apply only to the locomotives in the formation and are much faster to apply and release than the automatic brake, which operates on the entire train.
Awesome. All right, so we're pretty much going to stop up here. Let's get a quick glimpse of the horn. Got that E-bell. I'll slow down to restricted speed. I don't know if restricted speed for BNSF is 20 or 15. Let me know, but I'll just do 15 just in case. Nice sounding K3LA. Look at that. Quick response, I like it, I like it. It's the same horn from Sherman Hill, but it's got a quick response to it. Even better, that is awesome. Got a couple of freight cars down here, awesome, awesome, awesome. Gonna stop right before the crossing. Dude, I love this SD40-2. Holy cow. They did such a good job on the modeling. Credit to Dovetail. Alright, let's turn that off, and this will come to a stop.
Change direction with the reverser. Then change the junction indicated, either by walking over to it or using the map.
We'll do this professionally. So reverser, centered. Oh, reverse to reverse. Okay. There we go.
Before proceeding, check the two couplers are in the right position to allow for automatic coupling. Look at the rear coupler on your train and ensure it's open. Operate the cut bar if it is closed to release it.
Release the cut bar.
Next, walk over to the freight cars you're going to couple to and check their coupler knuckle is open too. Operate the cut bar here to open the knuckle.
Now what I've noticed is that R2, it's the opposite. Hold on, wait, hold on. Actually, unless if it... I'm still figuring it out, guys. Hold on. Dude, I am so close to foaming right now. Let's see. So, in general... disable junction derail. I want derail on, though. Accessibility... Default movement, walk. There we go. That's why it was inverted. So now it should be walk, and that's run. There we go. What's up, SEL, my man? How you liking the first footage of Train Sim World 3 Early Access right here? My good friend down in Florida. How you doing, buddy? I'm loving this right now.
Before coupling cars, always check the knuckles are open, or you'll just bounce right off.
Right. Alright, now we're going to walk back to the SD40-2s. This is incredible. Incredible. Oh, give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Okay, so this is incredible so far. I mean, can you believe this? Beautiful job on the SD40-2s. Really nice job. He was talking about the pin bar or the cut bar. I call it the pin bar.
Okay. The junction is correctly aligned and the cars are ready to couple. To the cars by gently driving into them at a slow speed. Most freight uses automatic knuckle couplers, so they will automatically couple once they connect.
Alrighty, so what we're gonna do is flip this to dim. Switch to the rear camera like so. Release the independent. And keep in mind, this is not Cajon Pass. No, I'm in the training center. Alright, so we're going to couple up to these BNSF boxcars. Beautiful sounding K3LA. And look at me already making mistakes. Oops. Alright, so my mistake there was that I did not flip the switch. Oops. Alright, let's roll back forward. Pretty much forgot. Not to worry, not to worry. And we'll stop now. Alrighty. Always ensure that it comes to a complete stop. Is Sandpatch grading trains from 103? Yeah, it's supposed to be. Alright, now we're lined up. You hear it building up power? Y'all hear the wind up? Like, that is incredible. Now we're all set to go.
If your speed is too high, you risk derailing when coupling. Apply some brakes to slow your approach.
Yep, I already know how to do this. And then we'll move on to the ES44C4 next, and then we'll get straight into Cajon Pass. Starting off with the SD40-2 with some local jobs, and then we'll do a road run. And this is day one, early access today, Friday. That's a good approach. A little safety stop. All right.
Hey, nice work. Now change direction with the reverser and move the train forward into the indicated siding. Remember to apply a little power before releasing brakes. While it's not strictly necessary in the training center, this is the time to start forming great habits.
Alright, so he's going to want me to change directions again, so looks like we're going to pull these forward. Now this is called three-step protection, what I just did. Basically, after they couple up, the conductor will usually call for three-step after they've coupled. That way, the locomotives or the train do not move while he's coupling up the air hoses and making sure everything's all good to go. So the engineer will turn off his generator field, put the reverser in neutral. We'll put the reverser in neutral, turn off the generator field, and then either set the air brakes to full service or the independent to full application at the same time. But we're all good to go, so I'll flip back on the generator field. Release the air brakes first. Look how detailed this radio is. That's amazing. And we get to mess with the EOTD screen or device. EOTD. Head of train device. HOTD. Alright, throttle 2.
Since you have freight cars coupled, you should slow down using the automatic brake and get the extra braking effort from those freight cars. The automatic brake applies brakes throughout the entire train.
Gotcha. Switch line, head shunt. So we're gonna come all the way down to this part. Gotcha. Oh yeah, let's open up the mirrors. Do that as well. There we go. And we're gonna slow on down. Didn't realize I was coming up on it a little bit too fast. That's alright. Full application. Hold on, it looks like I have to pull up a little bit further. Right here, hold on. He wants us to stop right here. Hold on. Oh!
Uncouple the cars either by using the external camera or by walking to the cars on foot.
Oh, he just wanted... Okay, I was so confused. He just wanted me to, put on the air brakes. Gotcha. Alright, so generator field off. Reverser neutral. Air brakes to full service. Yeah, he just wanted me... So he just wanted me to put on the air brakes. I was so confused. For a second. Alrighty, so we'll uncouple these. We'll do it from the car.
That's it for this training module.
Alright. Freshman achievement. Bronze medal. I'll take that. I'll take that. So score was 1,870 action points. Bronze medal. Hey, that's alright because I'm already a veteran of the SD40-2. Very, very familiar with it. And there's my progress. Of course, it's a little bit wacky because we did have to stop for like 3 times. But yeah, that is it for the first training module. Next one, we'll just go back to the main menu and go back to, let's see, what was it? Fundamentals? No. Training. Right, with the locomotives. There was one with, it just said long trains and blank blank as well. So next up is the BNSF ES44C4. Okay, it's with this one. Alright. For these two scenarios... Oh, route intro of Cajon. Look at that. Barstow Old Yard. Alright, so on this one, we're actually at Cajon Pass. A mixture of two. So first one is the route intro. We'll do that one first. Cajon. And then Training Center. The training module for the ES44C4 and long training breaks. And then back to Cajon Pass for a hill start and dynamic brake introduction. Starting off at Hesperia. So, you guys excited for Cajon Pass? The route intro? Let's do it. Here we go. Route intro for Cajon. With the BNSF ES44C4. Welcome to Cajon Pass. Look at this.
Welcome to Barstow in San Bernardino County, Southern California. Here you can explore the expansive freight yard before you head out, following the famous Route 66 through the Mojave Desert into San Bernardino.
Nice. Yard action going on.
There's a missing safety sign over there. Let's go fix it while you're here.
Oh yeah, I got you. Oh, we gotta walk a distance following these SD40s up here. Big yard. This is Barstow. There's an intermodal over there too. Yep. Alrighty. This is Barstow Yard. One of BNSF's largest.
There are many more tasks to discover on this route.
See tracks, think
Along the
train.
way, make sure to put up route maps, install safety signs, refill water caches, and visit the food trucks.
Right. Oh, food trucks? Yo, I need something to eat. Navigate the train. Follow the markers to navigate the yard. This guy's Barstow. This is the Barstow yard. It's very huge. They also got a hump yard, so we can do hump yard operations as well. I do not actually know if I can work it. That's the one thing I don't know. However, it looks like we can because we got a set of signals. Now I'm familiar with this because I watched a few videos from Run 8, basically. That's how I'm familiar with the yard and stuff. And let's see what we got over here. The lighting is amazing. Beautiful ES44C4s.
Today, we'll be riding along in this ES44C4. Climb aboard and take a seat.
How about that? 3269. Oh wow, look at that. Look at this beautiful cab. Incredible. Conductor seat. Alright. We'll be playing as a conductor.
To date, BNSF have rostered over 300 ES44C4 units.
Nice.
The ES in the name of this model denotes that it's part of GE's Evolution series. And the 44, its rated horsepower of 4,400.
Chivo.
C denotes that it has 3 axles per truck, and the 4, it's 4 traction motors.
CC axle configuration.
Barstow Yard contains 48 directional tracks. Covers a total area of 593 acres. That's
wow.
240 hectares. It is the second largest marshalling yard west of the Rocky Mountains.
Ain't that something?
Although this yard has been in operation since the 19th century, much of what you see today was constructed in the early 1970s.
At a
Cost
cost
of over
of
$50
$50
million.
million. Wow.
Today, around 1,000 staff are employed here to route freight to and from the Mojave, Needles, and Cajon subdivisions.
Cajon sub, of course, will we
Each
have.
year, over 150,000 locomotives stop at or pass through Barstow Yard. And each day, over 175,000 tons of freight is moved through San Bernardino County.
Yep.
On this route, you will learn to operate ES44C4 as you tackle stunning mountain ranges through the winding curves of California. And serve local industries as you switch and cut formations in the SD40-2.
Yes,
You
sir,
pick
right
the
here.
pace. This is Train Sim
Sim
World's
World's Cajon Pass. Alright. right. So, what I noticed now is that what it doesn't do is, unlike in Train Sim World 2, when they give the introduction, it'll cut to a preview video. Because you usually sit inside, you climb aboard a locomotive, and you play as the conductor, and you're just along for the ride, or you play as the engineer. And then at some point, when someone says, "Let me tell you a little bit more about what you can expect from this route," and then they play a little preview video. That doesn't actually do that this time, which is pretty nice, because you get to chill and listen to the person. But now level 2 in the game and level 1 for Cajon Pass for the route intro. So now next up is the ES44C4 training module. Actually, I do not know now if we will get to 2 services tonight. I may do 1 instead. And I choose the SD40-2. It depends though. So I've been waiting this whole day to play it. I've been kind of busy today. So what we're gonna do is go back to the training. ES44C4, yep. Check mark for the route intro. And let's not forget, yep. Check mark for the SD40-2 and the bronze medal. Back to ES44C4, so we'll do the training module and learn how to operate it. And this is also for anyone who wants to know how to operate this locomotive. Tune in now, as I'm about to start it, or try it out for yourself. 1700 action points to get a gold medal. 15 minutes is supposed to take me, and let's do it. Back in the training center. The last tutorial will be back out on Cajon Pass about the hill start and dynamic braking.
In this training module, you'll be learning how to drive this ES44C4 locomotive in BNSF railway livery. The ES44C4 is the 4th generation of the GE Evolution series. It started production in 2009 and continued to be built until 2015. Rated at 4,400 horsepower, these beasts are primarily used for heavy freight and intermodal traffic. When you're ready to begin, climb aboard.
Get started. All right. We got 3287, that'll be my trailing unit, and we got 3260 as the lead. And the door is already open. Awesome.
Sit in the engineer's seat.
Yeah, just getting some fresh air. Beautiful cab. Awesome. Ooh. Alright, let's sit down. Look at
Now
this.
you'll go through the steps needed to take over this locomotive.
All
Firstly,
right.
you will need to set the generator field switch. This needs to be enabled for the throttle to control the power of the train. This locomotive requires the reverser handle to be inserted before operation. The reverser determines the direction of travel.
Yep. Forward.
Switch the front headlights on. Regardless of the time of day or weather,
That's back
all locomotives must have their headlights on.
So they're back here rather than up
Getting
there.
moving, it's worth remembering the following sequence. Independent on,
Auto off,
throttle
on,
independent off.
off.
Let's go through that slowly and understand why. First, fully apply the independent brake. Now, this will ensure that regardless of anything else, your train won't move.
Fully applied.
Next, fully release the automatic brake. This will release the brakes on the rest of the train, but you won't go anywhere because those independent brakes are holding you.
Release.
Now, apply a small amount of throttle and verify that power is generated.
Notch 1.
Finally, release the independent brake, and you'll start moving.
All right.
This is a great practice to get used to, because it'll help you with two key areas.
I already know this
First is
practice.
that you verify that the train will take power before you release the brakes. You don't want to find yourself without power and having to hurriedly put the brakes back on. The second is that having power applied as you release the independent brakes ensures that you won't roll backwards. On steeper hill starts, you may even need to start with more power. And this is something you can practice and get used to as you find yourself out on the railroad. If you have any locomotives on the rear of the train behind freight cars, you can press the banking comms button to enable radio communications with those remote units. This will ensure that they operate their throttle and brakes in unison with your own locomotive, giving you much-needed extra control on your journey. Press it now, just to get practice, even though there aren't any connected.
Thinking comms.
Coasting is a method used to efficiently maintain speed and reduce motor stress and maintenance requirements. Come to a stop in the indicated position using the independent brake. Independent brakes apply only to the locomotives in the formation and are much faster to apply and release than the automatic brake, which operates on the entire train.
I know switches. It's got a great sounding K5HL. So I'll show you all. See, what I like also is the option to have like 3 horn buttons. Okay, well this is the main one that everyone would use. Then you have the second one here, and then you got the horn sequencer here, which still doesn't work, unfortunately. It looks like, but the horn does work. Get a load of this. Good old K5HL. Jingle bells. Oh, shaving a haircut. Right. Hold on. There we go. There's your shave and a haircut. Alright, so it looks like we're going to... Well, you know, actually, I'll leave the bell on. Leave it on. Oh, there's the horn sequencer button here. Doesn't work. BTC unfortunately doesn't work, but Integrated function display screens do work though. Gotta explore the cab to see how many features there are. Yeah, they did really good on the modeling, and the graphics have been updated again. I see a big improvement in that. Which is awesome. First BNSF route in Train Sim World franchise. On this one we can't pull out the mirrors though. That's alright. We'll stop right before the crossing. Put on that independent brake.
Change direction with the reverser. Then change the junction indicated, either by walking over to it or using the map.
Alrighty, so we're going to switch it to reverse. And we will walk down once again. This time I won't forget to change the switch. Forgot to change this one here, so... Oh, no, okay. Not that one. This one. This is the one. There we go.
Before proceeding, check the two couplers are in the right position to allow for automatic coupling. Look at the rear coupler on your train and ensure it's open. Operate the cut bar if it is closed to release it.
So cut bar, if it's closed, released.
Next,
that
walk
pulls up the
over
pin.
the freight cars you're going to couple to and check their coupler knuckle is open too. Operate the cut bar here to open the knuckle.
Okay, I'll step over onto this side, watch the third rail, but since this is a game, you can walk over the third rail. In real life, though, you have to watch it, because you don't want to get zapped. Pull up on the pin bar.
Before coupling cars, always check the knuckles are open, or you'll just bounce right off.
Yup. So this is based off of a real place in Germany. They said it's semi-real. But we got landscapes in the background. A couple of landmarks too. Alrighty.
Okay. The junction is correctly aligned and the cars are ready to couple. Couple up to the cars by gently driving into them at a slow speed. And most freight uses automatic knuckle couplers, so they will automatically couple once they connect.
That is correct. East independent. Make sure the brake cylinder goes back to 0. And switch this camera and roll back. So I'll just go up to about, I'll say maybe 10, and then start slowing down. They did a very good job on the horns.
If your speed is too high, you risk derailing when coupling. Apply some brakes to slow your approach.
Alright, so now we're going to start slowing down. That's about perfect.
Hey,
Alrighty.
nice work. Now change direction with the reverser and move the train forward into the indicated siding.
Generator field
Remember
off.
to apply a little power before releasing brakes. While it's not strictly necessary in the training center, this is the time to start forming great habits.
I'll get out really quickly just to make sure it is coupled up, like in the real world. Oh, there's that whoop sound. Yeah, I'm so glad they added that in. They added in the whoop. Dun 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 dun. That's a very satisfying sound. Yep, we're coupled up. That is one of the best audio sounds they could put in now for this Gevo. Awesome, awesome. Alright, flip that back on. Release the air brakes. Use the independent as well so that way it can release quicker. Forward. And throttle up to notch 2.
Since you have freight cars coupled, you should slow down using the automatic brake and get the extra braking effort from those freight cars. The automatic brake applies brakes throughout the entire train.
Alright, so we'll only go up to 15. I have like 6. Right, 6 boxcars. Alright. Horn sequencer doesn't work on it, unfortunately. But I can make my own. Always have a backup plan. There's the horn sequencer for that crossing.
Uncouple the cars either by using the external camera or by walking to the cars on foot.
Just testing something out. Alrighty. And then we'll uncouple these, and then that'll be the end of the introduction for the ES44C4. We'll use a locomotive pin bar this time.
That's it for this training module.
Alrighty. Bronze again, no worries. I did a good job for both. Level 2 now. Level 3 for training center. ES44C4 level 2. Bronze. And yeah, next training module. Already did the one for the SC40-2, so the next one is about, if I go back to it for the ES44C4, long train and brakes introduction. This is 30 minutes long, and we're in the training center. This one will be back on Cajon at Hesperia. And then what we'll do after this, we're going to simply take the SC40-2 out for a run. And there must be, so the hump yard must work because there's signals at the beginnings of the tracks. So I'm wondering, did they implement the hump yard operations? I'm going to have to look in the services, the full timetable services. And yes, they do have real world services in the timetable. Because if I remember, I seen Matt in the preview stream, he did one from, he did a grainer that went from San Diego to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I forgot the symbol of that one, but that's a real world service. They're all real world. Alright, so this one is going to be about long train and brakes introduction. $700 action points to get a gold medal. And let's do it. Long train and brakes introduction. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Long train and brakes introduction. Okay.
All right. In this training module, you'll be learning about the different brake types found in a typical U.S. freight locomotive.
Alrighty.
Take a seat in the engineer's position.
I know what he means. So we're coupled up. Oh, yep. We're all in something. Looks like it's single stack containers. But this is the main line of the training center we're on, so let's see what we have to do. Basically, it's just an introduction to the U.S. freight brakes.
Now you'll go through the steps needed to take over this locomotive.
Alrighty. Now we're on the main line. Set the generator field to on. Engine run on as well. Reverser handle in. Forward. Alrighty.
This locomotive has 3 types of brakes. Independent,
Right here.
automatic, and
Right here.
dynamic.
And that one right here.
The operation of them can be counterintuitive until you get the hang of how they work. The independent brake
Right
applies
here.
brakes on just the locomotives and should be used when running a light loco or performing hill starts. They respond very quickly, but
Yes.
won't be of great use when you've got a long, heavy train behind you.
In other words, before he moves on, the independent also, if you were to try that on a train, like a long, heavy train, and you were to put it in full application, it's basically the locomotive brakes. So if you were to put that immediately into full application, you would have a big chance of wheel slip. And that's something you do not want really when you're driving a train. Um, but yeah, the independent is just only the brake for the locomotive itself, not the entire train. That's what the automatic brake or the air brake is for that he's about to talk about. So tune in.
Automatic brake applies brakes on the entire formation and should be used when bringing a consist to a stop, assisting the dynamic brakes on steep descents, or otherwise making more substantial speed decreases. These brakes are slow to respond, and you can't partially release them. So if you want a bit less braking, you have to release them entirely, wait for the system to repressurize, and then you can reapply. The dynamic brake uses the locomotive's traction motors to slow the train down. These can be very effective at controlling your speed on descents, and are mostly effective between around 10 and 30 miles per hour. Either side of that, you're going to need one of the other brake systems.
And a quick note on the dynamic brake. They do not use it to slow the train down completely. So like let's say from 30 to 0 miles per hour. It's not intended to do that. Um, well, I mean, it can, it's just that railroaders don't really use it to do that. I don't know why,
There
but
are
it's not
several
really used to do
gauges
that.
used to describe what is happening in the brake system of this locomotive, and they're common to a wide range of locomotives.
Yep.
The brake cylinder, or BC gauge, tells you the amount of pressure going directly onto the wheels. Now, this is ultimately how much braking effort is stopping your train. If it's zero, the train is not applying any brakes. The independent brake lever directly controls this, but be aware that this is only reporting the state of the brake cylinder on your own locomotive, and not the rest of the train.
Right.
Apply the independent brake now to full, and notice that the BC gauge rapidly changes to reflect that.
So you're going to watch it go up. There you go.
The brake pipe, or BP gauge, tells you the amount of pressure on the brake pipe that extends the length of the entire train. On U.S. freight, this is pressurized to 90 psi as normal. The brake pipe serves two functions. One is to provide air to all the freight cars down the length of the train so they can charge their own reservoirs. The other is that its pressure controls what the other vehicles do with their brakes. At 90 psi, the brakes on all vehicles will be released. As the brake pressure in the brake pipe drops below 90 psi, the other vehicles will apply brakes. Depending on the length of your train, changing the pressure on the brake pipe can be quite time-consuming, whether charging it up to release the brakes or reducing the pressure to apply them. And this is the reason that automatic brakes are tricky to use.
Yeah, they hinted
The
that.
brake pipe works in conjunction with another system
The
called
equalizing
the
reservoir.
equalizing reservoir.
Or ER.
Because charging the brake pipe is time-consuming, and you don't want to be watching that to find the right pressure, the equalizing reservoir is a much faster responding gauge, and is what you primarily use to control the brake pipe.
Yep.
The automatic brake handle controls the equalizing reservoir. Apply the brakes a little with a lever, it'll cause the equalizing reservoir to lower in pressure rapidly to the desired level. This causes the brake pipe to begin slowly changing to match the equalizing reservoir, and it'll automatically stop once it is done so.
So we're going to put it to full service. Right there.
Release the automatic brake, and you will see the equalizing reservoir rapidly rise back to 90 psi. At this point, the final reservoir will come into action. The main reservoir, shown as MR on the HUD. This is a high-pressure reservoir which is used to feed air pressure back into the brake pipe to make it go up again.
That's the main right here.
You'll see the brake pipe begin to climb, the main reservoir begin to drop, and periodically the compressor will start up to put more air back into the main reservoir until the brake pipe finally matches the equalizing reservoir again.
So this is science, pretty much. There you go, I just released it so it goes back up. And then brakes on the train release as well. Alright, so I'll use the independent brake also. This is another trick. And there goes the air compressor. Usually does it after you release the brakes. Or the whoop noise. I think that's the air compressor. But yeah, so we're on the main line and now we're going to apply some power to get moving.
Now there are some key behaviors of this system to remember. The longer the formation, the slower the brake pipe will be to respond. You cannot partially release automatic brakes. If you are braking too much, you may need to fully release the brakes, allow the brake pipe to get back to 90 psi again, and then you can reapply them.
1 second, guys, I'll be ready. Alrighty, I am back. 3 chime is back.
This should be carefully considered, however, as you will have no air brakes during this time. Bring the train to a stop in the indicated position using the automatic brake.
So we're going to stop at main loop track 1. Alright, so we are going to have to travel a ways on the main, and we'll have to stop up there. So I'm going to up the throttle. We're hauling single stacks. Ooh, dude, this locomotive is loud too. Ooh, you can hear it. Oh man, that sounds awesome. I'll probably only take it up to 30. I guess. Because it does say kilometers, and I don't know why. But it says kilometers. Hold on. Hold on, let me see. I can fix that. HUD. Next signal marker off. Next signal aspect off. Should have something for speed. No, I guess no. I think it did change. I think I've seen it change. But we're going to camera motion sway. Apply for no signal aspect because I go pro here. So if you want to go pro, make it more difficult, turn off the signal aspect and you'll see what I mean. Because you're then going to have to actually know the signals to know what state the track, the block is ahead of you. Alright, so it's kilometers. In reality, I'm actually going 17. So I'll bump it up to 25. Hear that screeching. We are not a long train, really. Hold on, we are, oh, we're 50 long. But we're light, though. It's light. 2,000 tons. Alright, so I'll take it up to at least 25. I have to look at it off this screen. A little bit more throttle. Yeah, man, very, very well done job by Dovetail. Alright, put it back into notch 1. Head out camera. So it's basically, this is a route based off in Germany. It's a testing center mainly, and practice center. Coming up on it, and this is the entire map. It's just a loop basically in a big yard. So we're gonna start, oops, not be independent. Put it in minimum application. slow it down to 15 at least. Yeah, there's 15. We'll put it in notch 1. Just so that it's not too low. See, that is the diamond. We're about to cross over. Oh, also, no stop markers, because I am a pro at coming to a stop. So, stop marker off. Apply. There we go. Little diamond. Oh, it's gated. Look at that. It's gated off. Yeah, that's why I can't tell between kilometers an hour and miles per hour. I can tell kilometers, but I mean I can tell miles per hour, just not kilometers an hour. It's very confusing. But that is all right, because it's about to come to an end. Just like a pro.
Well, that concludes this training module. It's covered a lot of theory, but understanding the way these brakes work will help you understand why your train reacts the way it does. These freight trains are nothing like modern passenger trains with fast-acting and fully controllable brakes. But equally, they must manage massive, long, and heavy trains on steep gradients. An entirely different kind of challenge. Run this module again in the training center, and repeat it any time you need a refresher.
Train Simulator 3 graduate. Awesome, got the gold medal. Alright. Alright, one more and then I will flip to Cajon Pass and then do a local service. Or we could test out the Barstow hump yard to see if it actually works. Because there's signals on one end and then you got the other end, of course, with several switches. Where they pull the freight cars out of the bowl. That's what they call it. They call the hump yard the bowl, because it's like freight cars running down a bowl. Hello, Nabil. If I'm saying your name correctly, how you doing? How you doing? Level 3 for level 3 for the game, level 3 for the training center, I think, and then I think it was level 2 for something. But alrighty, one more training scenario, and then I'll hop into the SD40-2, and then we'll see what we can do. Last one is hill start and dynamic introduction. Dynamic brake introduction. So we're back on the Cajon Pass route. Of course, learn about hill starts and the dynamic braking systems at starting off at Hesperia on Cajon Pass. So let's do it. It's supposed to take me 30 minutes. A little bit of an easy medium challenge. And let's do it. Last training module. Oh, welcome. Welcome, man.
Okay, in this training module, you'll be learning how to perform a hill start and practice the switch from throttle to braking as you crest a gradient and go from ascending to descending. You'll be using GE ES44C4 locomotives hauling heavy intermodal freight.
Awesome. Look at Cajon Pass.
Now you'll go through the steps needed to take over this locomotive.
Alright, set the generator field to on. Engine running control and fuel pump are on. Set reverser handle.
When getting moving, it's worth remembering the following sequence that was covered in the locomotive training modules.
Right.
Independent on, auto off. Throttle on,
Ooh.
independent off.
Look at that.
Let's go through that slowly and understand why.
Alright, so we'll set this to... Oh, it's already a full application. Oh, no, never mind. Welcome from Indonesia. Welcome, man. Indonesia. Nice. Welcome, man. Alright, apply power to get moving. And release the independent brake.
If you apply power too quickly, the wheels will slip. If this happens, reduce the amount of power to regain control and then gently reapply. If you are struggling for grip, apply sand to increase traction.
Don't want to roll backwards into a signal, though. Alright, so hold the square button and down button to deploy sand. Reach a speed of 10 miles per hour. So now we got the square button as sand, which is awesome. Notch 5. Full application. And release. And we're moving. All right.
That's it. You're moving forwards under power. If you use the same start process every time you begin moving, it'll become second nature.
Awesome. Oh, coming up on the summit. Look at that. All right, so Hesperia is right in front of the summit, and while I'm coming towards the summit, you'll also notice that on the top right, it's changed from yards to feet. Now that, to me, is very helpful, because in this railroad world, we use feet instead of yards. That is very helpful as we come up on the summit. Let me pull up the signal aspects for BNSF, because I just took some practice to getting to know them. A couple of this past week, I've been getting to know BNSF signal aspects again. So pull them up again. Let's see. Okay, that doesn't work. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let's see, I'm gonna have to use the one. Off of here. Alright. Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway signals. Alright, so now the feet. Now you got feet. How many feet away you are. Very needful. It's very neat. Summit is right here. Yep. Right before you hit San Bernardino. I'm loving the quick responses too you're getting. I like it. Got whistle boards. Alright, so we're only going to speed up to 45. There's 3 tracks on Cajon. I don't know which one I'm on. We got some cars up there though. One of these tracks though is the UP Palmdale cutoff. We don't have that in the game. Wow, dude, you can really hear those motors. And they're loud. Awesome. Try to notch them down. Coming up on the next signal in 2,000 feet. And we have made it to the summit. All right. Got a clear. Clear.
Congratulations, you have reached the summit.
All right.
As you start your descent, you'll need to switch to dynamic brakes to control your speed.
Right.
The most effective speed for dynamic brakes is around 30 miles per hour. So if you're exceeding that speed, you should be slowing down. Above 30 miles per hour, the dynamic brakes become a lot less effective, and you will be more reliant on the
Oh, and it depends on how many cars and weight you have. So I am light,
automatic.
so we're only hauling 34, okay.
The automatic brake on its own will not provide enough fine control over the speed of the train.
Not cheap.
It's a blunt instrument, because you can't partially release the brakes. And they take a few minutes to apply to the setting of that.
Approach medium.
If you try to rely on just the automatic brake, you will often find yourself coming to a halt, or going over speed while you wait anxiously for the brakes to apply.
So we got an approach medium, so that means we're going to have to stay under 40.
The train speed as it crests the top of the gradient. You'll go from needing power to maintain speed to finding that power starting to accelerate the train. You see that?
Slow down to
start
30.
Backing off, Tom, and aim to keep your speed below 30 miles per hour.
Gotcha. Okay, that far track over there is the UP Palmdale cutoff. That's the farthest track. And we got Nai. Alright. AI meet at the summit. Look at this. Awesome, man. Awesome. Alright, under 30.
Once your throttle is at 0 and you're starting to pick up speed a little, it's time to get the dynamic brakes into their setup position. They'll need to be there for 10 seconds before you can use them further.
Right. Set the dynamic brakes to setup.
Start adding dynamic brake as needed to keep the speed in check. The dynamic brake is only on the locomotive and will react nearly instantly. As you begin to get to larger amounts of dynamic brake needing to be applied, it's time to bring in the automatic brake to help. In most cases, a minimum set of automatic brake is enough. Apply that now. Watch out that on some locomotives, as you apply the automatic brake, this will cut the dynamic brake out entirely. This is because of the brakes applying on your locomotive. If you notice this happening, pull the independent brake towards you into the bail-off position, and it will release those brakes only, leaving the automatic brake on the rest of the train. And you will see the dynamic brake come back into action immediately. As the automatic brake begins to take effect down the length of the train, you'll notice the train begin to slow down due to the extra braking effort. Gently dial back the amount of dynamic brake to compensate for this, and continue to try and aim to keep your speed around, but not exceeding 30 miles per hour.
Not exceeding 30.
If
Approach.
you find that the full dynamic brake is unable to hold the train speed, add a little air with the automatic brake. Wait to see how the train reacts, and adjust with the dynamics as needed. Always work under your target speed of 30 miles per hour.
Gotcha.
If you find yourself chasing faster speeds, you'll need to take more substantial corrective action with the automatic brake.
All right.
Okay, come to a stop up ahead using the automatic brake.
So now we got an approach. So approach speed is stay below 30. Anything below 30 is approach speed, so I'm going to slow down to 15. We have also a lot of trackside detail, which is really cool. Love it. They added in so much detail. Yeah, the summit, I remember the summit having, the summit was way different back in Train Sim World 2013. Of course, that's the 2013 version. They would obviously make adjustments to the route and the trackage now. But, yeah, approach speed is stay at 30 miles per hour. We went from an approach medium, which is a flashing yellow in BNSF's aspects, to an approach, staying below 30. And then we're going to come to a stop up here at Cajon. So that's just about to come up in about 5,000 feet. And this is also good because I can look at the distance counter because it measures in feet as well. Up it a little bit more. That's it. We're still quite a ways. Put it in notch 4. You can also use the dynamic brake to slow it down to this speed. We still got a little bit of a ways to get up there. I'm gonna have to get used to looking at the feet. Yep, this is beautiful Southern California. And who said I needed a stop marker on? Who said I needed to? I'm a pro at this. Go back to the HUD display, stop marker, off, apply. Oh yeah, I wonder what these things are right here too. All this trackside equipment. So that's right up there. Cajon. There's a popular rail fanning spot at the summit as well. I'm gonna have to find it. Look how steep it is. You can literally see for yourself how steep the track is. That's what you call Cajon. And that's very important too. We're coming to a stop like that. You have to roll. You have to roll up there at a slow speed. Nice and gentle. Now this one especially requires precise precise braking. We're at milepost 59 on the Cajon sub. Not quite there, but it can speed up rapidly if you are not careful. But if you're at a very, very low speed like this, it's easy to brake because you don't have all the weight on you than before. So we're going to stop right under the overpass, and we'll flip the headlights to dim. You may want to use the independent brake as well for backup support. Not too much to where you'll get wheel slip.
Right. Well, that concludes this training module. It is highly recommended that you practice both hill starting and the change from ascent to descent.
Especially on the street, yes.
They are one of the more challenging aspects of operating heavy freight, and you'll really feel like you're in more control of this train as you get the hang of this task.
Cajon Pass passing grade. That's a funny pun. All right. Level 3 for 3 chime, me. Level 2 for Cajon. Level 3 for the ES44C4. Another gold medal, and that ends all the training modules for the ES44C4 and the route itself. Where next? Gonna go back to the main menu because we're gonna hop into the SD40-2. So, what we're gonna do is go to let me see, go to the trains, choose a route, Cajon Pass. Oh, training center is an option, that's cool. And I did order the deluxe edition because I wanted to try out Spirit of Steam, Liverpool to Crew. I can't remember if it's supposed to get like all the improvements like Train Sim World 3. But yeah, Cajon Pass. 120 timetables. Oh, scenarios. That's right. I forgot about that. We'll have to try the scenarios then. Oh man, do I want to do the scenario? Shop class. Prepare an ES44C4 and bring it into service as the lead of a formation. Okay. So we got shop class, through fire and flames, bar stow away, inspect the formation on the inspection lines at Barstow. Oh. Slip and slide. Ooh. Command and concrete. And then free switching. Yes, we have a free switching scenario. Awesome. Okay, now, let's check out the timetabled services. But before I do that, I will be right back. Alrighty, I'm back, you guys. So, before I go take a break to eat, I will show you guys a quick timetable services. So, I am not a developer. Just to remind you guys, I am not a developer, and this is actually a disclaimer. I am not a developer. They basically said if you pre-order the game, you get early access. Today is day one of early access, and then tomorrow was day two, Sunday's day three, and then the game releases next Monday for all the people who didn't pre-order it. So for the people who did pre-order it, you get early access, obviously. So this is the full version for me. Um, but all the preservation or Train Sim compatible DLC, it's now called, will be all transferred on Monday, uh, Labor Day. But let's take a look at the scenario services first with the SD40-2. Ooh, official, personal, or creators club. Ah, neat. Oh, look at this. Uh-oh, hold up. Yo, look at the services. Hold on, how many services does it have? Look at this. Look at all these local services. Got Barstow switching, but there's no one. There's not one for the hump yard. Oh, so we got some locals. Yep, LSBD HES3 04B. Awesome. Local service from San Bernardino to Hesperia. Drive this mixed SD4-2 service from San Bernardino to Hesperia. Awesome. So mainly local services and switching, like Matt said. And there is a journey mode too. I haven't checked that out. And we have the ES44C4. Look at all these services. Holy cow. Now, there is some that I would know. Is there any bar services? Because bar is for Barstow. Um, oh, here's one. Bar SBD, manifest from Barstow to Los Angeles. Take over this manifest train from Barstow to Victorville. So that's one bar service. Then we have the bar LAC. Um, to Los Angeles. So there's about only 3 bars, and they're manifests. Yeah, Barstow to Los Angeles. Okay. And then a lot of them go to places around the world, obviously. And these are all real world. But anyways, like I said, I will be right back, guys. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Alright, guys. And, oh, wait, no. I'm really